Ever thought about adding old school charm to your home? You're not the only one. Increasingly, people are tapping into the power of vintage style to give their modern spaces a unique, interesting vibe. It's not just about vintage furniture or decorations. It's about adding a piece of history, each with a unique tale, into your living space. These timeless items lend a unique character and depth to a room, setting it apart. What's more, the vintage style is versatile. It can be tweaked to suit minimalists who lean towards the simplicity of mid-century modern designs, or maximalists who adore the eclectic allure of the boho chic style. So, are you ready to take a trip down memory lane and infuse some past charm into your present home? Come, let's dive into the world of vintage interior design. What does vintage style mean? It's about objects have spent between 20 to 100 years on this earth. These items, possessing the charm of a particular period, become focal points in a room, thanks to their unique characteristics. However, vintage is just one facet of style. There are others, like retro. And although they might seem similar, these terms take on different meanings in the design world. Vintage, as we mentioned, refers to items with decades behind them. Retro, on the contrary, denotes newer items that are designed to reflect a past era's style. Antiques are those special pieces that are at least 100 years old, treasured for their scarcity and historical importance. Importantly, vintage styles are not restricted to a certain time frame. They can represent any time from the 1920s to the 1970s, each decade with its unique aesthetic. The 1920s, for instance, were about luxury and abundance, while the 1970s were characterized by vibrant colors and mixed patterns. Deciphering the distinct eras within the vintage category is essential to mastering this style. Vintage style isn't simply about procuring items. It's about assembling pieces that encapsulate a specific period and emotion. Thus, research is critical. By acquainting yourself with various eras, their key traits, and the items that were in vogue, you can make educated choices when choosing vintage pieces for your space. Remember, the essence of vintage style is to create sense of nostalgia and comfort, while reflecting your unique preference. It's about finding charm in items that have withstood the test of time and breathing new life into them in your home. So, armed with a clear of what vintage style truly means, you're prepared to embark on your vintage journey. Ready to time travel and uncover the allure of vintage design. Where can you find vintage items? There are numerous places where you can hunt for these unique treasures. Thrift stores are an excellent starting point. They often carry a diverse range of items from different eras, making it possible to find something that suits your taste. The digital world isn't left out either. Online platforms such as vintage furniture, websites, and online marketplaces are full of options. However, it's crucial not to be carried away by the variety. Always verify the authenticity and condition of the pieces you find online. Ask for clear, high-resolution photos and detailed information about the item's history and condition before making a purchase. Another promising source for vintage pieces is flea markets. These markets are usually bursting with stalls selling everything vintage, from antique furniture to retro knickknacks. It's always a smart idea to get there early to have the first pick of the most coveted items. So, where can you find vintage items? try thrift stores, online platforms, and flea markets. But remember, it's not just about finding any vintage item. Ensure they are authentic and in good condition. Happy hunting! How to use vintage items in your home. Start by viewing these unique historical pieces as special accents that can spice up your decor. The real fun begins when you begin to blend these vintage finds into your contemporary space. Think about it this way. Vintage pieces should be like spices in your design recipe. Too much can be overpowering, yet the right amount can add a unique flavor to your home. It's all about integrating old and new elements in a way that creates a dialogue between past and present. For example, a mid-century armchair or a vintage rug can serve as a statement piece in a modern room, adding a nostalgic touch. However, it's not just about placing vintage items in a modern setting. They should complement the contemporary elements, adding depth, personality, and history to the room. It's essential to strike a balance. Mixing styles can sometimes be tricky, but with the right approach, you can create a layered design that tells a story. A good guideline to follow is the 80-20 rule. About 80% of your room should feature modern styles, with the remaining 20% dedicated to vintage pieces. This results in a space that feels updated and fresh, but still holds the timeless charm of vintage elements. It's also worth noting that vintage doesn't necessarily mean outdated. With a bit of ingenuity, you can repurpose or update vintage items to fit well within a modern context. The key to successful vintage design is maintaining balance and harmony. So, don't hesitate to infuse your space with a bit of history and charm. Enjoy the process of transforming your home into a visual narrative of your unique style and taste with the help of vintage elements. How can you take care of your vintage items? The answer is simple. Clean and restore them gently. The task may seem daunting at first, but with a bit of patience, treasures from yesteryear can continue to shine with their original charm and allure. Remember, the key to maintaining their beauty lies in preserving their original character. Use gentle, non-abrasive materials when cleaning and steer clear of harsh chemicals could damage their original finishes. And what about items that need restoration? Don't hesitate to seek professional assistance. They carry the necessary skills and knowledge to breathe new life into vintage finds, all while preserving their authenticity. Lastly, protection is crucial to ensure their longevity. Consider using protective covers for furniture and keep these precious items away from direct sunlight to prevent fading. By giving your vintage items the proper care and attention, you can ensure they'll continue to add a touch of charm and character to your home for a long time. Adding a vintage style to your home can be an exciting adventure. We've learned about the essence of vintage style, located the places to unearth these unique pieces, and understood the technique of integrating into your home. Now, it's your turn to embark on your vintage journey. It's more than just gathering old pieces. It's about building a collection that reflects your style and the story you wish your home to narrate. We've also emphasized the significance of preserving your vintage items, ensuring they continue to add charm and visual interest to your home for many more years. With this knowledge, you're ready to a touch of the past to your home, creating a distinctive and welcoming space that narrates a tale.